Alright, what is up everybody? It's Lids and we're back for some more Hades, and I mean last time we picked up a few things. We got a ton of life upgrades.
Something new to try.
We also gave a gift to Artemis, as you can see here, and we gave a gift to Nyx. And Nyx's gift that she gave us back in turn, quite intriguing to me. We gained darkness. Or whenever we gain darkness, we gain 50% of that as life. I don't necessarily think that that's better than the Lucky Tooth, at least not at this stage, where the Lucky Tooth gives us a guaranteed 100 life, and this, I have to get 200 darkness in one run, which seems like that's never going to happen, at least.
Should help.
Certainly not for a very long time. So I think... Yeah, that should be fine. I think it's still not going to be as good, but for experiment's sake, let's give it a shot. It's been a little while since we've seen Zeus.
My brothers Hades and Poseidon once fought bravely by my side. You know that, don't you, nephew? We prevailed against the Titans and established law upon the earth. Your father then descended to the land of death, and we've not seen much of each other since.
Okay. Your attack emits chain lightning when you damage a foe. That does sound good. It's the rare opportunity to get some area clear, hitting more than one enemy with our default attack, which I don't think we've seen terribly often, even with other god powers. Special causes lightning bolt to strike nearby enemies. Yeah, I think we take that.
The thunder god's might. Die.
Come on. And we see chaos. Oh, the other thing, yeah, did I mention if we now have 30 more life that we're starting with relative than before, because we unlocked that ability to upgrade our maximum life, or at least our starting life. So now, even after taking chaos, we still have more life right now than we would start with in previous rounds.
Testing of the great Lord Zeus. He still believes he holds dominion over both heaven and earth. I think perhaps he has forgotten about me.
Ooh. Putting Zeus in his place. Next 3 encounters, you have really low move speed. Then you get +1 of the special things. Next 3 encounters, you face more foes. I mean, this one always seems like, at least out of these, the best option. I know this is technically epic, but I think I strongly prefer this. Alright, and so one thing about using Nyx's item is I think we actually have a reason to try to modify our playing style a little bit and deliberately seek out darkness when previously we might have chosen other things. I did not even see you guys, and then proceeded to click off the screen. Well done, me. Truly startled me.
Nice try.
I didn't even try to do that. Pretty sure you did that to yourself. Dude. My aim is off today for whatever reason, apparently. Maybe I did break that one before. I just didn't realize it. I was gonna say, this seems like a lot of enemies. Then again, we did just choose to have a lot of enemies, so I can't really say that that isn't our fault.
Mine.
But yeah, so I like how I think this keepsake is going to modify our playing style, or at least certainly could. Like here, we're going to, theoretically, get more life out of this encounter, at least at the end of it, if we're successful. Starting to get the effect of that lightning chaining amongst enemies. I was gonna say, I wasn't sure if that was, that our range was actually better than I remembered it being with the sphere, but now I'm realizing that it is probably that Zeus power that we took. It is noticeable. Like, see, look at that. We haven't taken any life yet from any of this stuff, and yet we're almost fully recovered from taking the chaos damage in addition to taking at least 1 hit in the previous room. So we could upgrade the Zeus power, or we could take an Artemis power. I think we haven't gotten much from Artemis, and
More pests.
I don't think that the Zeus power is necessarily good enough at this stage, that it requires that we upgrade it. Not that any skill requires that you upgrade it, but that there could be better ones to upgrade in the future, and it might be better to wait. Thought I dashed past that, and that, again, I dashed into instead of away from. So maybe not the best job on that front, and Chaos is worn off.
Good old Father Zeus. He must have blessed you with his lightning bolts, did he? Always looking out for everyone.
A little attitude directed toward her father. I didn't remember that Zeus was Artemis's father. But okay, I'll take your word for it. Dash attack deals more damage. I still don't think that our dash does damage by default, so this always confuses me when we increase the dash damage. It still feels like it's, at the end of the day, multiplying by 0, so this seems like a waste. I don't know if it adds damage, if there isn't any to begin with. But in that case, I think the real answer is that we ought to take Artemis's aid, which, what does it do for her? Qualifiers a seeking arrow with some crit strike chance, otherwise just damage. And the amount of arrows can increase if the gauge gets more full. Okay.
Better.
I'm not super convinced that that's amazing. At least like that, remember, can actually give us life. Whereas this, ooh. Usually this means Sisyphus, and he seems to always give us good stuff, though.
Ahoy, what's new of late?
Indeed.
Hey,
If I may be so bold, Your Highness, I was wondering, what brings you back around this way again? Same story as last time?
Well, we'll see. You seem to give me good stuff every time I talk
look,
to you.
I have to level with you, Sisyphus. I'm leaving the house. I've had quite enough. You understand, I'm sure. I'm going to the surface.
Ooh. Didn't realize that Sisyphus wasn't in on that, I guess, or at least... I don't know, it seems like everyone knows this. Apparently not Sisyphus, though. I guess he's not terribly high up in the hierarchy of underworld beings.
Oh, that is quite an undertaking, Prince. If it wasn't you yourself proposing it, I'd like to call it madness, truth be told. Though, you're just mad enough to pull it off. Well, hey, I hope you make it. Good fortune out there.
Thanks, Sisyphus. Alright, so, what I was gonna say, we probably ought to take this, because it's probably more than what we would have gotten in the darkest specific room.
Makes sense to me.
Thank you,
I
mate.
think so. I mean, it's not quite a full life upgrade, but it's close.
So long, Your Highness.
And I think that's the difference when you're playing with this keepsake from Nyx, is that you're not going to get as much life out of it, but you can probably get those upgrades more often. You basically treat darkness as a life upgrade. You have multiple different sources, multiple different ways of picking up said life. Come on, hit him. But, I was gonna say, is there something else in there? It seemed like they were taking a little while to open up. So, we could pick up what would presumably be enough life to cap us off if we don't take a hit. Or the shop, we do have a somewhat significant amount of coins, maybe not a ton. But I think ideally we would wait at least one more time before... Ow. Before going to the shop. So that we can buy multiple things once we get there. Ow. Saw that coming at the last second and proceeded to do nothing about it. Oh, and I also did not see that those traps were there. Okay, maybe not the best job on my part. Those last few enemies.
Right.
Does give us 5 life, though. What is this next room? Dina? Yeah, I mean, why not?
It's mine.
We'll test it out. Remember, we can hit multiple enemies at a time. we're using the chain ability. Put that to good use. Not sure we got hit. I mean, not the fastest for sure, but unscathed, I think. We're accumulating a little more monies, as I was saying.
You and me.
Oh, these guys. It is interesting how, seemingly, whenever we see these guys, they're kind of framed as if they're mini-bosses. And I get that, in one way, because they certainly do deal more damage. At the same time, they also seem to be common enough that it surprises me a little bit. And, thought they were gonna make that blow up in our face. And they become more like a standard enemy in the next room, I think. Or next
that as a
floor.
compliment. He cut himself off from the rest of us. Many times have we attempted peace to no avail.
Alright, so I am a fan of her buffs, her boons, if you will. Special is stronger and can deflect, because I do like the deflect. However, I may have been overemphasizing... Oh, wait, what? I was gonna say, I may have been overemphasizing how powerful deflect is, because I may have forgotten, or not fully realized to begin with, that you can still destroy projectiles with your attacks, even if you're not batting them back toward enemies. Fast. Damages foes in small area, can deflect. I mean, this is epic, which presumably means it's really good. At the same time, this sounds potentially game-changing.
Athena's power.
Even if it's only rare. Okay, well, we have no option but to take life, and I suppose we will. Oh, when it's one of
The
these.
fates are being kind, I guess.
Don't we get life? And then we get maximum life. So, as I was saying before, I mean, we started off with... Out of my way. Started out with 30 life more than usual, so even though we've only picked up one max life upgrade, we're still well higher than what we would normally need. And again, I'm going to deliberately seek out darkness. Oh, there's a shop here. Ooh, that was close. And I did not see you originally. More? Yes.
Next up.
Still a lot of enemies in here. A little surprised. I think it's just you. Yes. Okay. Well, I guess we did sort of need that life upgrade, but that's kind of what I mean. That's just enough. We did have this shop. Okay, hold on. We have the shop, we have keys, and we have nectar. Okay, so it's not like we're about to walk into another shop. We don't need that. Could have that for 3 encounters. I'm not seeing... I mean, sure, having a little bit of extra speed might be nice. But I think, if anything, we might be better off just saving our monies and using them the next time we do encounter a full shop so that we can buy some more direct power-ups. Permanent power-ups. Almost didn't see you. And by almost didn't see you, I mean that I didn't see you. And not like the way you started attacking me so quickly, seemingly. Now we have both of those. Okay, like, for example, now we have an actual shop. However, what if we were to upgrade what we got from Athena just then? That's a little too intriguing for me to pass up. Especially, it is a really straightforward, just get an upgrade and don't have to fight anything room. Which it seems like this might always be the case directly before a boss. I don't know if I'm making this up, but it seems like this happens an awful lot, where I'm assuming this is going to be Meg.
The power of the gods.
So this is what I was referring to. If we could start with 33%, seemingly that would be really good. Otherwise, I mean, any of these things seem like they could be really helpful. In fact, even using the lightning, that's intriguing to me because there are still other enemies in the boss arena with Meg. And, of course, she's the most dangerous of all of them. But if we could attack other enemies and still deal damage to her when we're maybe a little further away and not as much in range of her attacks, it seems like that could provide a pretty big advantage. Of course, the call, and again, the call would also be helpful. So I think you could make a case for any and all of these, really. And I don't know, let's try this, because we've had calls before. Granted, starting off with a little more on the calls is new, but little star next to the skull there, is that an indication that this is the boss fight? Maybe this is a more important room? Gonna see. Yep.
I'm back, Meg.
Come all this way again, just to see me.
Indeed. What can I say? I'm a fan.
That's just not enough.
That pot almost got in my way. See, like this. Almost hit her. Technically, she was vulnerable then. It's totally cheating. But it would have dealt damage. Alright, I would appreciate if you would stop doing that attack. Ow. Dashed in the wrong direction that time. And I walked straight on top of that. Alright. Run away. Not totally sure what you were doing there. So like that time we were dealing damage to her, I stepped directly on top of that, even though we weren't attacking her directly. And that time was also silly. And that time was also silly. Okay, so our movement has been questionable here. That was the call. We might have been able to save up a little bit more. That, I think, was far and away our smoothest med kill. I mean, we did take some bad damage on traps. Outside of that, and I mean, look at this. That almost heals us up all the way. Just from that alone, granted, we are about to get healed anyway. But that didn't seem bad at all.
Well, Father.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, but I dare. So, I mean, we could switch our items here, our keepsakes, but I think I'm liking what we have going for us. We could sell one of our boons, but I think I also like what we have. Here, chance to drop life items, ensure an infernal trove. Sure, a chaos gate will spawn. I think we can afford to do that, because we have the benefit of having a lot of life at the moment, and having the ability to gain more life in the future.
Let's go up.
Somewhat reliably. But yeah, I think the lightning damage was really helpful from the Zeus attack, in that I was not feeling as if I needed to be right up next to... Oh, spawned this early? I didn't feel like I needed to be right up next to Meg to attack her, which I think is when we tend to take the most damage. When we get a little too aggressive and hang around there attacking her when we really should just be doing more of a hit and run. Right, we do have a nectar to gift, but I think we have already given one to Chaos, so I think we ought to spread that around or give it to someone else. Next 3 encounters, face more foes. Afterward, gain life. Again, we sacrifice life to get in here, so that doesn't seem that great. Each time you attack, take damage. That still seems horrendous. Next 3 encounters, you take good damage, but afterward, our dash deals damage. I suppose this is time to test whether or not our attack will actually deal damage, or our dash will actually deal damage. So, I do really like Hermes. I also see the benefit in getting a generic weapon upgrade. Let's go Hermes, because we do have a Nectar, and I'd kind of like to gift him a Nectar. Because we don't see him very often, and the Nectar would give us a way to guarantee that we do see him more often. Where are the enemies? I was told there were enemies. I was told there were enemies. I believe I have found the enemies. I stepped in the lava. Also, my enemies stepped in the lava. So I suppose wasn't the worst result. Oh, I walked straight into that. We are fortunate that we didn't take it there. Ow, you threw that straight in my face. And I walked straight into that one. Yeah, so the key with those guys is you gotta look them straight in the face and attack their projectiles as they're coming at you. Instead of trying to dodge them, you destroy them. I meant to give you a nectar.
He sure is quick. So how come it took so long for him to show up in the first place? Well, I'm afraid that's not for you to know. But it's not because I was late. Not late for anything.
Alright, let's see. After using call, you dodge. You just generally have 15% chance to dodge. You can dash more times in a row. I mean, both of these look good, especially since we, theoretically, picked up damage on our dash. Let's go with the dodge, though.
Godspeed.
Because we took more damage in that room than we ought to have. We have 255 coins, so I think this might be the shop that we were waiting for. Let's see what we have. So this is, again, effectively a life upgrade. This is damage upgrade. This upgrades something that we already have. So, I mean, we definitely want to do this.
I'll take it.
Gets us a little bit of life. Question is, which one of these do we want to do? Because I do like some of the things that we have picked up. So upgrading them seems pretty solid. Then again, upgrading our default damage? Let's do this.
Let's go, Varatha.
Hold attack rapidly, but you... Oh! Okay, I'm not sure we've done this. Normally I've been a little reluctant to go this route because I do like the spin. But at the same time, let's give it a shot. Maybe with the extra lightning chaining around a bit might be useful. I'm guessing this is a Medusa. It is a Medusa. And the boot to go along with it. Oh, I walked straight into that. I think the lightning chain is going to be very helpful on this counter. Granted, yeah, that was bad. Alright, let that hit me.
Artemis.
I was really hoping that would kill me, but apparently not. Come on! There we go. Okay, at least got you. What? That still hit us? I was sure we were outside of that range, and I was ready to just turn around and attack it. I was like, yep, we did everything we needed to do. Man.
Ah, that blasted giant Gorgon head.
But it wasn't the Gorgon head itself that time. We should have had that one. I mean, yes, at the end of the day, I ought to have just positioned myself better, but I really thought we were in the clear there. I'm not sure we've given Hypnos one of these yet. Let's give it a shot.
Surprise, Hypnos. I got you this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't put that in here. Just kidding. Thanks. But wait, I'll trade you. Look.
Cheers, Hypnos.
Coin curse. Or coin purse. Curse, same thing. That could be useful for other reasons, trying to gain up a bunch of coins instead of doing these life things with Nyx's buff and with Skelly's buff.
Welcome home, boy. You're late for dinner. Or breakfast, or whatever blasted meal's next.
That's all right, Father. I'm not feeling very hungry at the moment.
I've asked repeatedly for the construction of a sundial, but every time they tell me no. Can you believe it? Your impertinence with me inspires all.
Something tells me a sundial in the underworld is not terribly practical. Achilles is back. I don't remember if we've given Achilles one of the nectars yet. We used ours,
The
so
sealed weapons
can't.
by your chambers. Your father won't observe their absence, I don't think. They remind him of a time he stood together with his brothers and sisters. He wants nothing more to do with any of that. I think it's fitting you've inherited their power.
Yeah, technically we're stealing his weapons. Yeah, okay.
A power that once sealed away the Titans. Maybe it's a power that can break me out of here. Thank you for helping me, Achilles.
We're still locked. Yeah, Achilles is a cool dude. I wonder if we can... I mean, again, we've used our nectar now, but I wonder if we can gift them to seemingly just random people like that. Oh. And I do still really want to see if there's an opportunity to ever give it to Meg, because, I don't know, it seems so weird since she's usually our enemy.
We each have our commitments to this house. There is no shame in yours. And whilst your sisters are away, you bear their burden of responsibility as well.
I understand. It's just... Am I supposed to keep pretending nothing's changed? This house is cracking at the seams, and no one's going to admit it?
The house shall stand eternally. Although in what condition, it is ours to decide. Our obligation is to keep the house in order.
I know. You're right, of course you're right. I'll do my best. I'll do my best for both our sakes, Nyx.
Alright, well, I mean, seeing as how, like I was just saying, Meg has been the primary person trying to stop us, I mean, outside of our dad, Hades, primary person trying to stop us from escaping, and then Nyx has kind of been on the other side of things, giving us a lot of support. Can't help but feel like you two are kind of on opposite ends of this battle. Or battle. Conflict, maybe a better way of phrasing it.
What was that about?
I hope you're having a nice day. Even though you don't want to live here anymore, Your Highness.
Yeah.
And there she goes again.
Okay, so let's see if we have enough darkness to upgrade things. Looks like we do. Wow, we have a lot.
Let's have a look here.
So we could boost our life even more. That's the benefit of going with Nyx's thingamabob, or keepsake, is that, yes, we are getting some life. Like I was saying, probably not quite as much as you would get from using Skelly's keepsake that allows you to revive with a lot of life all at once. But it does mean that we're kind of still killing two birds with one stone, getting the chance to pick up both darkness and life to extend the run. So that, I think, ties in quite well with, well, upgrading our character further and allowing us to get a little more powerful still. Almost had enough for 2 upgrades there. Anything else in here? Doesn't look like it. Pretty sure just walk through a wall again.
They always come back.
Oh, let's check what Hypnos's keepsake does.
Try.
And we've upgraded... No. This is still... full 1. Okay. 3 or 14 encounters. It doesn't tell us how many of those 14 we've done, unless that's... You have 14 remaining? Yeah, I think we have 14 remaining, because it looks like everything starts at level... or at 25 encounters remaining. Okay. And... still one from Hypnos that we picked up. I probably moused over it already. This one. Start your next escape attempt with 100 coins to spend as you please. Yeah, so that's... I can see you could make a case for that, in that That means you can almost immediately go to a shop and buy something useful. Certainly after a few rooms, you have enough to think. What, the god boons are 150 coins? The upgrades tend to be 100, so you can go straight into one of the upgrades. And then the hammers, the guaranteed weapon upgrades, seem to be 200. At least they were last time around. I assume those prices are pretty much always the same unless something else is at play there. But yeah, so that basically means you start off with the ability to get one of the upgrades immediately or get very close to getting an extra god upgrade in the shop very soon. So, I mean, at 100, maybe that's not quite enough for that to be terribly useful, at least not for us at this stage. If you get to the point where you no longer need the life boosts from either of these items, then I think that probably is a pretty solid option. But at least for us, for now, I think I want to stick with Black Shawl or Lucky Tooth, and we'll continue to use the Black Shawl, because I think, at least on that occasion, we managed to do a pretty good job with it. We've gotten to Asphodel, maybe not quite as far as we've done in the past, but still pretty solid.
This is where you belong. You feel out of place? Where would you even go? What would you have me do? Your place is here.
My place is with my mother. Hi, Aphrodite.
Alright, and with that, that's gonna wrap things up for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.